You put me in that situation, I guarantee you I will
Right now.
circles around
Right
that
now. Like
yes.
you just jump up, you put an apron on and go.
I will get my book, I'll get my hat, paper hat, I will whoop that ass at that Waffle House. That was so scattered. You guys would be like a well-oiled machine. Pull 2 bacon.
Scattered?
Drop 3 hash browns.
Are you talking about scattered as in an ingredient to the...
Yes. I want my hash browns scattered, smothered, and covered. That's smothered with onions and covered with cheese.
Yes.
They come out with cheese.
But listen.
Or my onions.
I
can put an apron on, get behind that counter, and I will run circles around all of them.
Yeah, but you wouldn't make tips.
No. But I'd run circles around them.
Yeah.
Wolftick Nation, thank you guys for tuning in to once again another Wolftick Videos episode. And guys, on this episode, it's going to be damn scientific. We both got notepads. We've got the fork scores.
Why do you have a damn notepad?
I don't know. It doesn't have anything on it. Guys, in case you are not familiar with the Wolftick video style, we get budget parts, budget forks mainly.
We get pig stuff. We get stuff that people claim is garbage or whatever. We try it out.
Bars, bikes. Everything. This is a budget-friendly channel. We love what we do, and we take them out to the trails. We give you our honest and fair reviews of everything, you know, good or bad.
Spoiler alert, some stuff that's cheap's not all crap.
So if you guys haven't been here before, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, please. Hit that like button, most importantly.
Yeah, hit the like button now, and then if you decide at the end you really didn't like it, you can go back and take it off there.
You can go back and take it off
there.
there.
Don't forget.
On today's episode, we are going to be focused 100% on the budget fork, cheap fork
the trio.
Update. What we've got for you guys is the 3 most controversial forks on our channel. We're going to give you guys the update because there was some shenanigans with most of these forks. 121.36.
Okay.
So that's what we're talking about. It's supposed to be a 140mm travel fork. You tell me how the hell...
Pull the damn thing. Before we get to that, let me just say this real quick. So, one of the things about cutting down to 1 video a week recently that we have found, we're going to be going back to 2 videos a week here
pretty quick.
Shortly. We'll probably throw some bonus videos even before that. But here's my thing though. Something that we've had a lot more time to do is test stuff.
Yeah.
We were able to go out and a full day of testing from morning. We got there by afternoon, all the way till it was dark. We got to test these forks out. So this was there to really put them through the ringer. We felt like maybe those 3 forks hadn't really been put through the ringer before.
Yeah, and they need to be updated on.
And they need to be updated on. People wanted updates on them. So we really beat on them, and I mean beat on them. So we're going to let you guys know how that went. Right. And we have some updates on how some transactions went down with the companies.
Yeah, with the companies. And we've even got some comments from all the YouTubers out there, all of our subscribers and stuff. We've even got some comments we're going to show you guys. So it's going to be a fun episode.
All right.
So let's talk about the 3 forks. First one we've got is the 29-inch ZTZ Ultimate Fork.
Okay.
It was sent to us by ZTZ, and it's $129.
They didn't pay us anything, and we don't agree to anything anyway.
Yep.
They said, hey, we'd like to send you the fork. Have you guys tried it out? Tell us what you think.
Tell us what you think. The second fork we're going to be talking about is going to be the 27.5-inch Lutu AM34 fork. Now that one's pretty cool. We're going to get into it, but we paid for that one. It's a $176 fork.
We paid for it, and then we got a partial refund.
Yeah, got a partial refund. We're going to show you guys the whole transaction on that as well. And the really cool thing about that real quick is it had 34mm stanchions. And the last fork, our most latest controversial fork, the sketchiest of sketch. It is the Himalo 680DH downhill fork. We paid $194 for. Triple tree, double shoulder.
Hayes Creek Run, Mount Nebo. Let's do this real-time review.
That fork, very sketchy. We threw it on the GT Aggressor Pro. And guys, again, if you haven't seen any of these videos, make sure you go back and check them out, maybe. And so you can actually get a feel for what we're talking about.
Are you going to show the thumbnails when we're talking about?
Yeah, I'll show you guys the thumbnails. But let's go back to the ZTZ Ultimate, and let's talk about that. Now, again, ZTZ sent us this fork. It weighed 3.90 pounds. Okay? And I want to talk about the pros and the cons of that fork. It's supposed to be 120 millimeters of travel. Now, we bottomed that fork out multiple times, took the caliper to it before, after, and what was nice about it was it measured out 123 millimeters, what we're actually using.
Yeah, it's always lived up to it.
Lived up to the travel.
On the travel.
Now, the difficulty with that fork was we were unable to test the air pressure. Let's see how much air we got here. Oh, that's a problem right there already.
We have a problem already?
Yeah. Not a good start. I don't know if the threads were jacked up or what. That was basically a big negative to it. We couldn't test the air. And let me tell you guys something. That fork, after running it on the tiramisu on Friday, and we'll show you guys some B-roll of it. Dude, that fork is like so dry. And it's very noisy up front, and it just feels stiffer than crap, you know?
Do we have an audio clip of us working it? Oh.
Man.
Oh, it's... Uh-oh. Something's getting bottomed fast.
Is there any...
It actually feels decent, but the problem is it's a little soft. No, it does not. It's the second lowest rated fork we've ever done.
It scored a 22.70.
For $129, really, I wish if the air worked on it, I would feel a lot better about the fork. I mean, you came down that one hard a few rounds. You even like cased it. We have a picture. Yeah, you cased it, and man, you came down that hard and compressed it all the way. It held up. It did not. It didn't die.
Yeah, it didn't die. To this day, I rode the crap out of it just the other day, and to this day, it still works. You know what I mean? We can't try the air, and that's a huge bummer. Now let's talk about what ZTZ, they sent us this fork. Let's talk about what they told us back.
Well, I'm going to say one more positive though. That's not about the fork. It's about ZTZ.
Oh, okay.
While I'm not huge on their fork, that bag they sent, awesome bag.
Let me show you guys this bag.
Yeah.
Very nice bag. Now, let's talk about what they told us.
Okay, yeah, let's
we
get to that
emailed them. We said, hey, guys.
This is the unfortunate part.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate part. Hey, this fork, the stem something's messed up with the stem. The valve stem. We're unable to check the air with this fork. And they responded about 2 or 3 days later, and they basically told us that it was probably something that happened in shipping.
Yeah.
Which is like...
I think Evan said the same thing what they told him about stuff on his fork.
It's like it was just an excuse. Oh, it happened in shipping. Yeah. I said, well, I don't think it would happen in shipping. There's a safety cap for it and everything, and they didn't email back. You know?
Yeah. And it's unfortunate.
So that's a big bummer. The fork scored a 22.70. And as you guys can see, it's right above our old ZTZ. You know? If you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you guys watch that video. I want to go through some comments on what our Wolf Tech Nation had to say about this fork.
The ZTZ?
Yeah, about the ZTZ. Okay, and then we will move on to the next.
I'm interested.
So Louis LeBron says, interesting that the ZTZ, Bellini, and Buffalo's fork look very similar, but the ZTZ fork reviews I've seen make it clear that there are some quality issues versus the Buffalo's. LeBron Photo ends this comment with saying, by the way, I would not buy this fork. I would go with the Buffalo's instead at that price point. So,
yeah, and I agree. I agree.
I agree. Second, we've got...
Buffalo's is pretty cheap too.
Next, we've got our boy Sloth,
Loose.
one of our patrons. Now, Sloth says, quality control seems to be an issue with ZTZ forks.
I
don't
agree.
think I would trust them.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said. Sloth, absolutely. Yeah.
And the last comment from our boy, one of our OGs of the Wolf Tech Nation. It's old Steve, you know? Old Steve, you know, says,
OG.
Hard pass for me, laugh out loud.
Like he was going to consider it.
I'm for budget stuff, but I don't need my fork to bend or blow out, laugh out loud, because I'm a bigger guy and I'm not fond of walking. You know, who is? I sure as hell not.
Hikers.
And then he says, also, the color scheme is just horrible. You're damn right. But that is the ZTZ.
What's funny is I don't think they're that horrible looking.
Yeah, I don't know. That is the ZTZ Ultimate.
Yeah, so the ZTZ Ultimate, our score, I stand by it. I think it can. I think it fits what we feel about the fork.
Okay, now let's talk about the 27.5 Lutu AM34 $176 fork. Now this fork had a lot of promise. For one, it has a through axle, and we're going to talk about something to do with the through axle. We have this on the Mongoose ledge, the Ledge X1.
It's through axle-ish.
Yeah, through axle-ish. Like I said, we're going to talk about it. Now, the cool thing about this fork is it's a 34mm stanchion. Beefy stanchions, you know, and it should be beefy because it has the through axle and it's tapered. This weighed 4.54 pounds, which is right in the middle between the ZTZ and the Himalo we're fixing to talk about. Now, the downside to this fork, and we're going to show you guys the back and forth. We bought this fork on eBay, and it was shown as, we'll show you guys our picture of the receipt, it was shown as 140mm of travel. That's what they sold it as.
That's what they sold it as, and here's the thing. So let me give you guys an example. if somebody says, if you go on YouTube and you buy a vehicle, and that vehicle says it has 20-inch tires on, 20-inch rims and tires, you get the vehicle and it has 18s, and they say, oh, but you can put 20s on it. You know, you can be happy with that.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments about this for it.
Everyone's like, oh, well, you need to adjust this and put that. Hell no.
Yeah, I ain't
Hell no.
You're supposed to get what you pay for, and in this case,
if it says it's a 140, it needs to be a 140. Case closed. I'm sorry. I don't see the argument on that.
So it's supposed to be a 140. We measured it out when we did our initial impressions.
We ended up with 127 on our last measurement after we really worked it over.
After we worked it over, was 127.
We took the air out. We did everything we could do, I think.
Okay.
And we ended up with 127.
And we're missing 20. You know, it's like, where is it at? I thought that fork, our old Lutu scored pretty high.
13 at that point.
Given for what it was, and I was just looking so much forward to this fork. It's a really good looking fork. It's got a 15mm by 110 boost through axle. But this is the part that I really don't like because it's just weird. Like, okay, so we run regular 15mm by 100 through axles here, right? We've got 3 or 4 different ones. And the reason we do is because you can buy spacers and you can buy a adapter that will fit your rotor on to adjust to fit a 110mm boost through axle, which this fork was sold as. But it came in with 2 spacers. So I'm thinking, it showed on the picture, it comes with 2 spacers. I'm like, okay, well, we just need the rotor adapter. I tried to put the rotor adapter on there, would not fit. We had nothing but problems with this fork. Have fun trying to put that damn thing up there with 2 little bitty spacers. So that was a pain in the butt. And we're going to get to what the sellers and all that said about different forks.
It's a 34mm stanchion.
Yeah, 34mm stanchion.
Nice.
But the price, $176, is awesome for a tapered through axle fork. This fork scored a 29.26. Now, let's go through what the seller had to say when we told them and brought up to them, hey, this fork is not what was advertised as. I've got them highlighted here. Basically, it said, thank you for your communication. Can you provide a picture and sending us a picture of the actual travel? So we got a caliper tool out. We took a picture and we sent it to them, right? And the second response from them, I believe it was 2 or 3 days later. Getting to the skinny on this, basically we said, hey, it's supposed to be 140. It's not. You can see here in the picture. They said, okay, well, for this, we can provide a compensation of $5 and you can keep the fork to use. How does that sound? We said, hell no, that doesn't sound good.
No. It was so misrepresented at that point, and the way they acted about it, I was so upset. I just ready to send it back.
Yeah.
And they didn't think
and we told them that. So their third response, highlight again, we reapplied to our manager. How about a $10 compensation? Can you accept that? We said, hell no. We made $176 for this fork. We're professionals. You know what I mean?
We're not professionals.
We're not professionals. We said, what the hell? Something must be done, you know? So then we said, hey, we will send this fork back. And you know what old seller's fourth response was? We have applied a compensation for $20 for you. And you can keep this fork to use. What do you think? We said, hell no, that ain't gonna work. Let's cut to the skinny here.
That's when I threw out the price. I said, listen, because I was thinking about it. I came in and I said, okay, for me to feel better about it, if they're not going to just give us a refund and either take it back or say keep it, I figure I don't want something for free. That's not what I'm after. I thought, well, you know, it's a decent fork. You like the fork.
I like the fork.
So, and it rated okay, right? So I thought, you know what?
It fits the ledge perfect.
It does. It was just way misrepresented. So I said, if they give us $100, I'm good. And you're like, yeah, I'd be good with that.
And we also said, look, not only do we want $100, but you guys have got to change your listing.
Yes,
because that's not right. We have affiliate links.
Yes.
You know, and it's just not right to send you guys to something. And as you can see from our receipt, we'll show it again, that it shows that we paid for 140 millimeters. But since that response on that message, they did change it to 120. Okay, now the fork is, they don't sell it anymore. So we got our $100 back. That was the whole shenanigans with the Lutu. It's still on the ledge. And
you like it.
Yeah, I really like it.
It really, this is going to sound funny to a lot of you guys that think they're all exact same fork, but it actually reminds us a lot of the Lutu we had a couple years ago.
And we were like,
infamous Lutu or famous Lutu.
Yeah. So we've got some comments we're going to share with you guys. And another thing is I wanted to throw a quick thank you to Microshift, because the Acolyte group set, the derailleur that was on this bike, remember I crashed, it got messed up. I had to send an email to Microshift, and they bounced back so quick, said they're a huge fan of the channel. So Microshift took care of us. We'll show you guys some B-roll of me putting the new one on there. It was like 2 days it got here. So Microshift, great customer service, not an issue at all. So the ledge is up and ready to go now. Some changes I'm looking at doing on that fork, or that bike, we want to change the bar out because the Trifox bar, it's just not for jumping. It's not for what the kind of riding we do.
The Trifox bar is great. It's just not great for what you do.
Yep. So I think I'm going to put a regular straight bar with some rise on there and probably some Sloth grips. Sloth sent us these foam grips a while back, and they're blue, and it will go perfectly with the ledge.
Perfectly.
So let's go through some comments. And I believe we just crowned the ledge one of our favorite Wolfstick Diva Edition bikes. Did we know?
Oh, yeah.
John
the Husk family.
The Husk family
Maria
sent
Husk,
us.
Noah.
Yep,
Yeah.
Maria and Noah, they sent us some Wolfstick Diva Edition stickers. I'm putting them all the favorite bikes. Which bike will be next? I don't know, but the Ledge is one of them. The Ledge and the Ardor, both have it so far. So let's talk about the comments. Now, Cody D. Dorsbacher says,
Cody D is
you got to remeasure from the base, get that extra inch in. And we did. You know, always measure from the base.
Do we have to put that one on?
We always measure from the base, Cody D. Ink Rider 95 public subscriber says, that's the absolute worst looking bars I have ever seen. Well, Ink Rider 95, we're going to be changing them out, man.
Why are we talking about the bars, not the fork?
UB Bamboozled, our boy. Great review. I'm absolutely happy with my buckles. Nothing wrong with the MX. If it's advertised as 140, it should be 140. No ifs or ands about it.
Thank you. Who was that?
UB Bamboozled.
Thank you, UB.
But all in all, 29.26 score. Pretty good fork. Now, let's talk about the latest and greatest 27.5 Himalo 680 downhill fork.
Yes.
Sketchiest fork, right?
That's the only fork I think we both felt equally sketched about.
That's a scary
and the
fork,
first
man.
one I remember really feeling like I don't know if I should let you go off and ride without anybody with you on this one.
I know it was it just because the lack of.
It's just it's hard to explain. First of all, to be fair, we're not experienced with the style of fork. That's number one.
Yeah, that's number one. And there's some comments that we're going to answer on that.
Number two on that, regardless of our experience with that style of fork or not, you have to have it in person to understand the sketch factor that we're feeling. It's just, there's a lot of things about it. There's not a lot about that fork that reassures any, confidence with the way it mounts and the way it's held with just a couple of bolts.
Not at all.
It's just a little funky, and to be going down real hard. I will say this though, the fork is better. We probably should be a little easier on it, especially after you jump the hell out of it.
We should be a little easier on it because there's some information right here that's pretty important that we're going to share with you guys. Now, this fork was $194, right at that $200 limit. It was 5.36 pounds, which a lot of people in the comments said that wasn't too heavy for that style of fork.
Yeah, for that style of fork, that might not be too bad. It's a little on the heavy side from what we're used to.
The great thing about most of these forks, and this one in particular, is it has a 9mm quick release, which if your bike doesn't have a 9mm quick release like the Fragment doesn't, it still has that 3/4 inch threaded axle, which will fit on that fork. So you don't have to go out and buy a new front wheel like a through axle in order for it to fit on the fork. And that's a huge plus because that's out $100, $120, $130. So
but at the same time, that type of fork should have a through axle.
Yeah, just for safety purposes. The last thing you want with the way that those damn big old stanchions can move, that's scary, man.
Yeah.
That is one of them that I do wish it had a through axle.
People don't realize you can only tighten it so far too. And then it closes, the clamp closes, it's not tight enough.
Very sketchy. Now, this fork has got 32mm stanchions, right? Which I wish were a little beefier. And the plus that you said was the amount of travel for the price. $194, 135mm of travel.
Well, I think we got really stuck. I think we got really caught up on the travel. That fork, I will say this. The travel that fork gives, it does sort of almost move different.
It's not so much, the reason it only scored a 28.14, it's not so much that the fork did bad, it's just everything surrounded around it,
Just so you guys know, I really pushed to put this on the ledge, and he's not having any part of it because of the Lutu that's on the ledge.
The Lutu's on the ledge, I want to keep that, and not only that, but this is a straight steer tube, and I don't want to do the adapter. Yeah, we didn't think about that.
I hate the damn adapter.
I know, we don't want to put the adapter. It said it was 135mm of travel. When we measured it out, remember we took all the air out.
shop.
Okay, now let's measure the exposed stanchion.
Most we got to was 128.
Well, I've got that written down. Okay. Then, after playing with it a little bit and doing the Wolfman dyno, we got to 128.
Yeah.
I can say, after doing the B-roll day, where we just went out and filmed all day and beat on it,
Put it
guys,
away in the truck, said, hey, let's measure this out with that dirt line.
Yep, it scored a 134 millimeters of travel on the GT Aggressor Pro.
134? It was 133.
134.
Oh, that's right, it was.
Yeah, 134, and we were like, man, it was like 133.99.
Yeah. So it was 134.
Yeah, so it was 134. That fork looks great. It looks awesome. I know a lot of people don't like it. I'm a fan of the fork.
We might do some rescoring.
We need to do some rescoring.
That means Chris had a good point. And I think right now it's safe to say you may have jumped the gun and you may have made a mistake by not by doing that trail, but not getting everything done first before we rated it.
Yeah, I want to get to some comments on this fork before we end this.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
So old Northwest Mountain Bike Addict said, it looks like the top crown on the fork is mounted upside down. And dude, I was with you. I was with him. I rewatched the footage, but in editing, this is what happened. We took the fork apart on the top crown, we took it off of there. Then I put it back on there when we got another shot of the fork while it was upside down. Turns out it is the right side, you know, after...
It's correct.
After further review,
yeah, not right, correct. It's correct.
Now, next, we're going to get Mick, one of our public subscribers, says, hey, the air pressure sticker has two 170-pound marks on it. You actually said it for 140 pounds.
I actually gave him a medal for a trophy for being the first one to notice
After the initial review, you were watching back, you go, hey, son, it's got two 170s, so there's missing the 140, and Mick was exactly correct. He's the only one that caught it.
But I corrected him since this. He was not correct. He thinks you said it for 140, but if you, like I told him, if you go back and look at the, range, you said it for 170.
Yeah, I said it for 170, which was exactly right. That fork rated very high on the adjustments, and that's that was a big plus with that fork.
Yeah.
Yep. So E-Bike Builder says, you know it's going to be a good one when right out of the gates, Tig jumping the bars, giggling like a schoolgirl.
Absolutely.
Now let me tell you something, E-Bike Builder. That was giggling of fear. That was nervous giggling. I was trying to hide my fear, and hopefully going, man, these guys think I'm going to send it. I'm just giggling, you know, because I'm so damn nervous.
What's funny is when people watch this and they start laughing at us going, oh, you guys don't know anything about this.
I don't know a damn thing, man.
We don't claim to.
We've got 20-something bikes of, you know, we don't know what the hell we're doing.
And about 30 forks.
Yeah, so, guys, man, the Himalo DH fork, that was one of the most, there's all those forks right here, the most controversial forks. And you guys know why.
For different reasons.
Yeah, and we just appreciate you guys watching it so much and giving that like. If you haven't already, give a like, please. Please subscribe.
And if you're still watching... Tell us if you think we might need to do a rescore on the Himalo.
Yeah, let us know if we need to do a rescore on the Himalo. As always, we appreciate you watching WolfTeak videos. If you haven't already, again, give this video a like. It really helps us out. And please subscribe, comment, do whatever you guys got to do on it. Let us know what you guys think about these controversial forks. Would you buy them? Rate them 1 to 3. What do you think? But we will see you on the next one. Guys, have a Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you before Christmas.
We'll see you before Christmas.
We'll see you.
We'll see you next week.